I'm Gary Anderson. You're watching Behind the Bar with Paul Starr.
Welcome to Behind the Bar. Paul Starr, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. The PDC players went off to Wigan for UK Open qualifiers 1, 2 and 3 at the weekend. And I'm happy to say been joined by the Bristol Bomber, back behind the bar, Steve Brown. How are you doing?
Not too bad, Paul. How are you?
Very well. Nice to have you back. Unfortunately, Steve, no money at the weekend in the qualifiers.
I enjoyed the weekend. It was a great weekend. Played some decent darts in between, but unfortunately lost a few times, when it comes to the crunch. But there you go.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks' time you got 4, 5 and 6. So would I be right in thinking about £750, £1,000 would get you down to Butlins at the start of March?
Probably $750 on countback. So if I can pick that up next weekend, or hopefully more, then I should be all right.
Excellent. Just to see what happened, amazing, 240 odd players, and yet the 3 winners, we've got Lewis beat Taylor on day 1 with your buddy there, of course, Mark Durbridge banging a 9-darter, rolling back the years. Yeah,
great weekend for Mark. He's been putting a lot of effort in recently. He got a new set of darts as well, so he's feeling a bit more confident. And if he beat James Wade the round before, and then banged in the 9, so he's flying at the moment.
Excellent. Of course, Wright and Henderson also made the semi-finals. On Saturday, MVG beats Alan Norris, Whitlock and Jamie Lewis in the semi. So we've got Adrian Lewis wins day 1, Michael Van Gogh wins day 2, and then on today, Phil Taylor beats MVG 6-2 in the final. So the top 3 seeds, effectively, without Gary Anderson there through illness, have landed the 3 days. It's amazing how the top players, they still can manage to do it on those big, even with the big fields.
I think the golfing class is it's just getting wider and wider, and these top players, they're playing week in, week out on TV. They're walking in these rooms, and almost with they don't really need to be there really. So they're sort of playing with such a relaxed action, and it's just for them. It's just must be just like a practice game, really. Yeah,
£60,000 on offer each day, $10,000 for the winner, and on today, of course, semi-final for Benito van der Paas and Mark Webster. So that's the UK Open the last 3 days. In the Premier League, Steve, I assume you viewed on Thursday night Premier League week number 1 from Leeds.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a great event. A few shocks in there, but but they're all good enough to beat each other now, aren't they?
They are. I mean, Michael Smith, going out for losing 7-2 first game on against Peter Snakebite Wright. That's tough for Michael. It's a lot to deal with. It's a massive crowd, and even players of Michael's standard, they're not perhaps used to playing in front of crowds that big, maybe.
No, I was talking to Michael this morning actually, and he said that I think he felt almost embarrassed about his performances on Thursday, but he's lived in a bubble for the last couple of weeks, and something he's not used to. All these other players are at least playing it once, and I think give him 2 or 3 weeks' time, I think Michael will be he'll show us his true colours.
Yeah, super player, isn't he? And then the second game on, James Wade is 3-0 down against Michael Van Gogh, and he can't win from there, but he does. 7-4. Michael averages 24% on the doubles. Wade averages 54%, and that's the difference. So James Wade starts off with a nice win.
Yeah, typical James Wade between 96 and 100 average, and that's what he does, isn't it, week in, week out. So yeah, great for James.
Taylor, 7-2 defeat to Barney. I didn't see that coming. The first 6 darts at a double chuck by Barney all landed. That is amazing, isn't it? And I'll tell you what, 7-2, Barney, in the Premier League, sometimes his head right and whatever. It certainly was the other evening.
Yeah, I think Barney, he really takes his Premier League really seriously, and he makes sure he's right for this one. For this one and the World Championships, it's the 2 events that he really sort of puts a lot of energy into. Yeah, and now what about this? Robert Thornton last week in the Masters wins the first 8 legs against Chizzy, loses 10 of the next 11, and loses all 7 the other evening. She's lost 17 of 18 legs against Chizzy after winning 8 on a trot. That's how does that work? I think being in that situation before, when you lose, when players rattle off legs against you. It's such a lonely place on that stage, and if they don't go in the first couple of legs, it just plays on your mind, and before you know it, you're sort of beating yourself up inside, and it can run away with you.
Yeah, and Thornton averaged just above 75.68. I mean, for a man of his class, that is obviously nowhere near good enough. But Chizzy, after making the final of the Masters, a nice start for him. And then the last game on Michael Smith, obviously with the world champion Gary Anderson not about. Michael Smith stepped up for his second game, and it didn't go well, but a very convincing win for Adrian Lewis, 7-1.
Yeah, again, I think Michael hit the ground running in his first game. Obviously lost to Peter Wright 7-2. So having that, he's up for the first game, which takes a lot of adrenaline, and really takes it out of you. And then to sit and watch another 3 games, and then go back on and try and recreate, that sort of that adrenaline. I think it was only going to be one result there. I think a lot of people knew Adrian was going to win that after the result of the first game.
Yeah, it's tough for Michael, but like you said earlier on, he's good enough, and he will be back. Week number 2 this week, coming up in Newcastle. Steve, let's get some value like we did last year. First game on, Michael Smith even money, 100-30 or 10-3. The draw, 7-4 Thornton. I was going to side with Smith, but 7-4 Thornton, that seems quite big. What do you think?
Robert Scott, he's got to hit the ground running, but 7-4 is fantastic value. So if Robert can win 2 of the first 3 legs, I think Robert wins that game.
Yeah, okay, 7-4 Thornton. Now, what about this one? Even money, Peter Wright, 100-30 the draw. RVB, Raymond, it's 7-4. And I got a feeling you might go for Barney there.
Yeah, I just think with the momentum, like I mentioned earlier, that Barneveld, for whatever reason, this Premier League and the World Championships, he really gets up for it, and he's hit the ground running in this. Beat Taylor convincingly last week. So I do think Barneveld's going to be up for this game. Yeah,
7-4. Now, this could be an absolute belter. In-form Adrian Lewis at 6-5, and in-form Chizzy at 6-4. So Lewis's favourite, 100-30. The draw again. What do you reckon?
I can't split them. What I can guarantee is there'll be a lot of 180s in that match. But to be honest, I don't know you, Paul, but I think the draw's a good bet there.
We'd go for the draw. And then what about this one? The best 2 players in the world. We welcome back Gary Anderson. Well, fingers crossed, obviously, after his virus there. 9-4 Gary Anderson. MVG, who, I haven't lost it last week. He's 5-6. And again, William Hill have gone for 130 on the draw.
Yeah, I think Michael really, might shade that one. Obviously, Gary's been out for a while. Michael will be reeling from last week. He played again 3 competitive tournaments this weekend. I think just that will give him the edge, I think, coming into this match. Okay, so we're going to go for MVG 5-6. And then last game on Wadey 2-1, 130 a draw. They've gone 130 every match to be a draw. And 10-11 the power. Now, James Wade, he beat MVG last week. If he beats Taylor this week, he'll be well on his way. What do you think, Steve? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think, again, due to the result last week, I think Wadey, that would have buoyed him so much in this tournament. And you don't get points off Vancouver easily in this Premier League. So I think Wade is right up for this. And although Phil's coming back, and I believe in 2 or 3 weeks' time, Phil is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I think the values are Wade.
Wadey at 2-1. Okay, then, so we've gone for Thornton at 7-4, Barney at 7-4, Lewis Chisholm draw 130, Van Gogh 5-6, and Wadey at 2-1. Steve, can I ask you what this week's Bombers banker will be?
This week's it's difficult. It's very difficult. There's not really a banker in there, but if I had to go for it, I'd go with Lewis and Chizzy for the draw.
Lewis and Chizzy for the draw at 130. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for Raymond van Barneveld at 7-4. So Paul's Premier pick. Raymond van Barneveld at 7-4, and the Bombers banker Lewis and Chizzy draw at 130. Great stuff. Steve, thank you very, very much. We're keeping an eye on how things are going, and fingers crossed we can get our viewers a little bit of value there and see if they can walk away with a few pounds in their pockets. Great to catch up with the Bristol Bombers, Steve Brown there. And don't forget, tune into Sky Sports at 7 p.m. on Thursday to see how we've done on this week's tips. If you click here, you'll be able to view a video we recorded this week with the 1983 World Champion Keith Deller. And he talks about what happens behind the scenes in the PDC with spotting role and, of course, the form of his player, Adrian Jackpot Lewis. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking here. It's free. Like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. And join us next week on more Behind the Bar, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. We'll see you then.